What is up, family? It's your chubby boy Pudgy Papa, and today is going to be a little bit different. We're still going to be talking games, but more specifically, we're going to be talking about game adaptations. And if you really want to narrow it down, we're going to be talking about one in particular. So, would you kindly stick around and see what game we're talking about? Alright guys, so if you haven't figured it out by now, the game that is in question is Bioshock. And it looks like Netflix is going to do an adaptation with that. Now, how do I feel about it? I don't know yet. We're going to get into that toward the end of the video. I want your comments on this as well. I want to see what you think. But before we get into all of that, let's kind of dig into and dissect all the things that all of the information that we have now. So we're going to start off on the Netflix page about the movie or the series, see what they have to say about it, and then we're going to kind of investigate a little bit further, see what we can figure out, and then at the end of the video, we will talk about how we feel about it. W Energy provides a clean boost of energy without the jitters. It's designed to enhance mental clarity and focus during your day. W offers a range of delicious flavors. This makes it easy to find something you enjoy while fueling your activities. Unlike sugary drinks, W has no sugar. This means that you can avoid the crash that often follows sugary energy drinks. Use code PUDGPOP for 10% off your order at w.gg. Experience the benefits and find your perfect flavor today. Okay, I am on the Netflix page right now, and this is what they have to say about it. Let's go ahead and dissect it a little bit. So it says Francis Lawrence is diving down to Rapture with Bioshock. That's the headline right there. So who is Francis Lawrence? Francis Lawrence is a director, and he has directed movies such as The Hunger Games Catching Fire, Hunger Games Mockingjay 1 and 2, Hunger Games The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, I Am Legend. So all of those movies I think would fit pretty well with the style Bioshock, kind of like dystopian. You know, I really think he could bring a lot to the table. So let's see what else Netflix has to say about it. So he's also joined with the writer Michael Green. Now, Michael Green wrote movies such as Blade Runner 2049 and Logan, which again seems pretty, I think it would be a pretty good fit. So I think they honestly would be a great team to write and direct something as Bioshock. I really think that the combined experience of those two, the movies they write, the movies they direct, will be a great direction. So one of the most recent things that I've seen digging into some of the information about this adaptation is Roy Lee. He's the producer. He provided further details about the project. Okay, so according to Lee, the video game to movie adaptation has undergone changes following shifts in leadership. He mentioned that it has been reconfigured, aiming to create a more personal film. It remains to be seen what exactly this entails. So what does that entail? I don't know. Now, this is a quote from Lee himself. The new regime has lowered the budgets, Lee said. So we're doing a much smaller version. It's going to be a more personal point of view as opposed to a grander, big project. And that is a quote from him. Now, how do I feel about that? I don't know. I think that you can make a really good movie with a small budget. I've seen movies like that. I don't think it's necessarily the budget that makes a movie. I think it's the writing and the direction. And with the writer and director that they have picked out so far, I think it could be really, really good. Now, I don't know exactly what that means. Maybe it's because some of the adaptations they've done before has failed. Maybe they don't want to invest too much into it because of failures, such as Resident Evil. We'll talk about that in a moment, but I don't know. What do you think in the comments? Let me know what you think that means. So it says, shortly after its announcement, Lawrence expressed intentions to collaborate with the original game director, Ken Levine. At the time, he emphasized that the adaptation would remain faithful to the essence of the game, hence the word essence, okay? Lawrence later mentioned that he was highly enthusiastic about a draft of the script that he had developed. Okay, so he's super enthusiastic about it. Has he played the games? I don't know. I mean, you could watch gameplay. You don't have to necessarily play the game to get the feeling of it, I guess. But he is highly enthusiastic. So Maybe. Okay, I don't know. I'm not really too sure, but it is cool that he wants to stick with the essence of the game, right? He wants to really capture that essence, which is a good thing. I've seen so many adaptations that they just so far away from the source material. Again, I'm looking at you, Resident Evil, that they did on Netflix. I personally liked that, but it was really far away from the source material. So, you know, we will see. But if they stick with the essence of it, maybe not change too much. I understand that we're not going to get a movie that's exactly like the game. I get that, right? I'm not necessarily looking for that. But are they going to stick with the actual main character as Jack? Are they going to introduce a new character? What direction are they going to go with this? And I'm excited to see it because the whole universe of Bioshock honestly is such a great place for me. I know it's really dark, but it was really unique. You know, especially in the first game, going down and seeing Rapture for the first time blew my mind. It really, really did. And it just kept me driving forward. I thought it was a great story. So I'm really excited to see what, you know, how this adaptation conducts itself. So let's talk about the concerns, at least for me, and then voice your concerns in the comments as well, because I really want to hear from you guys. So, okay. I haven't watched too many video game adaptations on Netflix, okay? I did watch The Last of Us, but that was not Netflix, and it was fantastic, right? But the one I really, and the reason why I keep bringing it up is because I'm a big Resident Evil fan, is the Resident Evil adaptation. They canceled it after the first season, which is, it's fine. And I personally liked it, but they were so far away from source material. They tried to add it in here and there, but it was so weird. But I was kind of, honestly, I was a little invested on how they were going to actually make it work. So to me, it wasn't that big of a deal, but it obviously flopped. So, you know, Netflix does not have the greatest track record when it comes to these adaptations. They really, I think they're just trying to do money grabs. You know, I really, honest to goodness, think that's what it is. Hopefully this one's a little different. Hopefully they learn from their mistakes. So let's talk about the little sisters. Okay, so in the game, if you're not aware of it, you can either harvest them or you can rescue them. So when you harvest them, you take the atom from them and then you get more. But if you rescue them, you still get a little bit, but you don't get as much. Personally, I have always rescued them. I don't, even when I'm playing a game, I have a huge heart. I'm always playing the good guy, even when I have options to play the bad guy. I don't know what it is. Maybe something about my morals. And no offense if you play the bad guy, hey, you know, whatever. Video games are your playground kind of thing. But I've always been kind of a good guy at heart, so I've always rescued them. But how are they going to portray that in the movie, right? I wonder if they're going to harvest or if they're going to rescue. I know it's not that big of a deal, but I'm just curious to see how they, you know, how they go about that, to be honest with you. And do I trust Netflix? Again, I don't really trust them. I think they're always trying to grab more and more money, especially when they move to the ads and all that. It just showed me Netflix only cares about money, and it's ridiculous, to be honest with you. And I think that's what these adaptations are. I really think they're just money grabs, and I don't think they really care about sticking with source material or if it's good or not. They just want that initial viewership, the numbers, and then, you know, from there, I don't think they really care. Although it's kind of silly, you know, because we've had great adaptations. We can look at the Fallout one. Fallout did amazing. It was such a good season. You know, The Last of Us was pretty freaking decent, right? So it's very possible to make us gamers happy with some of these adaptations that they do, but Netflix just doesn't have the greatest track record with that. All right, so with all that being said, here are my final thoughts. Yes, I'm excited to see what they're going to do. No, I don't trust Netflix. And I am keeping my expectations extremely low. Usually when I do that, I go in and I'm kind of blown away with what they really did. But if I go in with my expectations set high, then I'm always going to be disappointed, to be honest with you. So for any of you, I would recommend that. Just set the bar low. Just, you know, whatever, just watch it and we'll see what happens, right? I don't know, but I'm going to watch it. I think it'll be fantastic. Hopefully they don't make it flop like they did with Borderlands and all that, you know, mumbo jumbo. Again, I think everything's just a cash grab. They're really seeing that video games can be art, and maybe they're trying to express that in film, and they're just not the best at it, right? Video games are a certain kind of art. So video games are an interactive art, and I think that's what really brings some of that to life. And so when you're watching film, there's really no, you know, interactivity there. You're just watching it. So I think you lose some of the magic in the adaptations, to be honest with you, you know, unless you're a diehard fan and you're really excited to see what they could do. But in this case, I don't know. I don't trust Netflix, but I am excited to see it. I really haven't heard any news. The release date is still in the works, so I will keep you posted. But let me know down in the comments what you think. would you kindly give me a thumbs up, subscribe? If you have not subscribed, let's hit that 100 subscribers by the end of this year. I'm going to do a pretty cool giveaway if we can hit that. Share this video. And again, leave down in the comments all of your thoughts. And until I see you guys next time, I hope you have a great day, night, or whatever it is. And I'll see y'all later.